By the mountain, by the mania, at least according to the level title anyway.
Right.
Pumpkins everywhere.
Okay.
Pumpkins!
Is it fall already? Well, by the time this goes up, it might be.
For some reason, I'm thinking of Rocket Knight right now. Like, the only Rocket Knight game I've ever played is, like, the 2.5D sequel that they made for modern consoles, which is an okay game, a bit short. But, like...
Hi, Ramby.
How frickin' strong is Dixie's hair that it can lift a rhinoceros into the air?
For, like, a quarter of a second.
Oh, you know...
Still, do you know how much lift you need in order to lift a rhinoceros and a gorilla?
I was about to say, her body weight, DK's body weight, and Ramby's body weight all together.
She could probably give Shantae a run for her money, you know?
Yeah, probably, yeah, because that's gotta be...
Shantae would just turn into the rhino.
And then she'll lift Shantae up.
Hold on. So I know gorillas are, like, depending on the specific species, like, maybe 300 or 400 pounds, but hold on. Rhino... average weight. Alright. Because I think a rhino can... Yeah, depending on the breed of rhinoceros, it can be anywhere from 1,800 pounds to over 5,000 pounds. Dixie Kong confirmed strongest character in the Smash Brothers roster. I mean, wait.
She's not... As I say, she's not in Smash Brothers.
A lot of people thought that she was going to be for Ultimate, though. Which I suppose would have made sense for the third Donkey Kong person if they weren't going to go with K. Rool, but...
K. Rool just makes more sense.
Well, it makes more sense in the fact that Smash Brothers needs more villains, so...
That too, yeah. But, like, for including someone in the roster, Dixie does make a lot of sense, because wasn't she, like, the main character of the second game? Third.
Yeah, she was the primary character in the third game, but she was the secondary main character in the second one.
She was just more popular than Diddy Kong.
Well, yeah, because she was easy mode. You could glide over 90% of the levels.
Yeah, but Diddy Kong was the favorite character of the first game. So this is why, according to that pattern, Kiddy Kong is the best character in the series.
Well, what about 64 then?
Well, 64 only adds like 6 new characters, so it doesn't keep up the pattern.
And it adds the greatest version of Funky Kong ever. I love Militia Funky.
Wait, what?
He's an arms dealer in 64.
In Donkey Kong 64, he's decked out in camo gear and has fucking night vision goggles on.
And he's the one who gives you your guns.
He gives you guns.
What kind of stoner hippie is Funky Kong that he joined the military? Was he drafted?
Okay, he's a boomer. No, Ted, he's a boomer. That was the original games were him in the 60s and 70s, and the 64 is 80s boomer.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, poor Funky Kong. That's why there's no real estate left on Donkey Kong Island, is because Funky Kong bought all of it.
You do.
It's a worthwhile investment, he said. Never mind that people have to live in it.
But there was a great banana war in the Donkey Kong lore.
What? In like the actual games, or is this a cartoon thing?
It's in the manuals.
Oh.
That's the whole reason that K. Rool went bananas, was for bananas.
Because he wanted revenge for the Great Banana War?
Yeah.
Donkey Kong's
This
dumb.
is why I'm the Donkey Kong guy. I know weird shit about the series.
Donkey Kong's really dumb.
Video games were a mistake.
Ooh, I almost
oh yeah, you should have died.
You should have.
But I didn't.
Also, why can these owls light themselves on fire?
Oh, good Yoshi there.
Yeah. I mean, if it works.
It wasn't total betrayal.
Just using him as a stepping stone.
Alright.
Yay, 69 lives. Hey.
Hey.
So, yeah, this game subscribes to the we're going to make it hard, but we'll just put in an obnoxious amount of extra lives so it doesn't matter school of philosophy then.
Sort of. It's always hard for me to judge platformers because they're my bread and butter. stuff that's widely considered hard to general players is basically nothing to me in most instances.
I
On the
still
whole, anyway.
I still feel like in most games nowadays you just don't really need them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the banana
Yeah.
coins, you have a secondary collectible that fulfills the same sort of, ooh, I found a secret, here's a special reward for finding it kind of thing that 1-ups also provide. You know? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. It's like, I'm a little mixed. It depends on like how you spread out your challenge, really. Lives. If the challenge of your game depends on having only so many chances before you lose a lot of progress, then yeah, a live system makes sense. But when you don't have a live system, you can also make the individual challenges within the level generally harder. It's kind of like,
That's what Celeste does, so.
yeah, it's kind
Rayman
of,
Origins as well.
yeah, it's kind of like RPGs, really. You can have like random battles in which you don't automatically heal after every encounter, and you know the battles themselves can be really, really easy, but the long haul is the challenge. But a lot of more modern RPGs just heal you after every battle and make the individual battles harder.
What games do that? Because I don't know of any RPGs that will heal.
Dragon Quest, I think Final Fantasy
No,
13.
no, you
tried
don't.
It.
No, you don't.
Not Dragon Quest. Dragon Age. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Age, yeah, you like whenever you're out of battle, your health just sort of heals itself rapidly, and every individual battle that you encounter is a challenge. So,
Or you could be Atlas, where every fight's hard and you don't get healing because fuck you.
yeah, Atlas is kind of like that.
Because fuck you. That's why. You have to be pretty masochistic to like Shin Megami Tensei. I mean, they're great, but I'm also very masochistic, so.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's just, it's a different approach to challenge. You can make every single thing generally harder in exchange for like not much punishment for failing, or you can make everything easy, but you have to make it through a lot in one swoop in order to succeed,
I feel like that kind of the... I feel like the lives model, if what we're talking about, like where, okay, it's more about making it through within a certain amount of tries, but I think that works better for a shorter kind of level, where, the idea is to make it through in one go and maybe, perfect your performance as you do so,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of a Sonic sort of thing. Whereas the levels in Donkey Kong Country Returns, and from what I've seen this game, tend to be relatively long if you're not just speeding through them, like if you're trying to look for puzzle pieces and stuff. Because, I'd say that each individual level for this game, from the way Ryan's playing it, has taken at least, 5 to 10 minutes, which is,
I'm also slowing down and getting a lot of stuff along the way, so.
Yeah, that's true, but that's still relatively long for a stage like this when you consider that, a typical Mario level is done in, maybe 2 minutes, for example. So I feel like if you lose all of your lives, that's a lot of stuff to have to go back and redo. Whereas games that generally don't have live systems, like Rayman, generally speaking, when you die, you only go back a couple of seconds. So, again, you can have the hard challenges. So, having a hard game where when you die, you have to redo a lot of hard challenges in order to even get back to where you were, it seems like a dumb idea.
Those are the K levels in the original Returns.
On the other hand, not every game that doesn't have live systems does that. Some of them actually have some pretty far distance between checkpoints.
Yeah, well, I'd say that's bad design in that
Not
game
necessarily.
as well.
Not necessarily, because the loss of distance is itself a loss of progress, and that's your penalty for failure. It depends on how it's paced, really, but sometimes it can work. I think Jak 2, pretty much all of the challenge in that game, when you're in an actual level, is if you wind up dying to one of the platforming challenges, you get knocked back a pretty fair distance. So you have infinite lives, but you gotta get through a significant chunk of the gauntlet without dying. I remember Jak 2 actually being surprisingly hard, compared to the first game.
Yeah, they didn't really give you checkpoints during missions, which is kind of weird.
They were
So wait, is this a secret room, or do you have to go in
No,
here?
this is part of the level. The world's largest tuba.
What?
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the world's largest didgeridoo player. Didgeridoo.
Oh, this level's being a dick. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The vent blows the exit off screen so you can't get it. Oh, that's good. I like that.
So for about 3.5 parts now, I've been trying to say something that I've been trying to word it to where I don't come off as a total sociopath.
Just go for it. Do it.
I'm actually really happy for Tropical Freeze that they brought back the fact that the villains are animals and not the tikis.
Oh.
Because I hated how soulless the tikis were.
Oh, they were
Yes,
really boring to look at.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with animals, like in the SNES games, and even in 64, and even in this game, they're very animated.
You see,
It's like fighting a piece of wood in return.
You are
Well,
fighting
they
a
are
piece
a
of
piece
wood
of
in
wood.
returns.
I mean, yeah, the bosses are like possessed animals, if you can call them that. Some of them were just weird ass monsters.
I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of the enemies in this one from what I've seen so far. Because I don't know, something about them is just not really clicked with me. I don't know.
Ice Bear is disappointed in you.
Okay. Listen, all right. I know better than to dick with a bear, but you know what? There's not much I can do if one of them wants to not like me. All right, it'll rip my head off regardless. So I've given up on trying to appease them. They're dicks anyway.
How dare you?
That is a reasonable mindset.
You see, I don't get why they bothered giving the minecart 2 hit points when one mistake basically means you're dead anyway.
No, not really.
Oh, what?
We're on a log.
And now I'm reminded of the toboggans from DKC3.
That's probably what they're going for.
Okay, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah, you have to use the weight to get down to the end. It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
This also is a stage with a secret level in it.
A secret level and a minecart
Sorry, a
level?
secret exit. Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit I like this twist on the minecart.
you know, DK, you could get off. You can swim.
But DK, have fun.
DK know what to do.
DK, have fun, he says as he runs literally into a wood shredder.
Did the wood shredder construct the wood into a minecart?
Yep,
That's not how it works.
it's a cartoon, Lewis.
I love this part where the deadly thing chasing you builds the level.
It's just a long string of happy coincidences that just happen to go in DK's favor.
No, but like there, you hit one saw blade and you died instantly.
Okay,
And earlier
no,
you hit one saw blade and died instantly too. So it's like, why even have heart points? At that
Yeah,
point?
I'm gonna say I like this minecart level. The other minecart levels didn't really do much for me. Like, they seemed a bit boring, but this minecart level is doing quite a lot.
Well, the other one was the first one, so.
Yeah, I
And
know.
thankfully, if you go to the secret exit, you just climb the mines to get the real exit. So.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would have even noticed that there was a real exit. And it's also another one of those ones that's at the very end, so you have to play the whole level twice in
Yeah.
order to get it. Which I'm usually not a fan of.
Just instead of dropping down, you just jump.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have known to do that the first time you did it.
Well, if you're going for completion, you're gonna get both exits anyway, so it's not a huge deal. The first time is to see that it's there, and the second time is to go for it.
You see, I don't like in a game when I see something, but by the time I notice it, I have no chance in order to get it. If that makes sense. Like, I want to... And I mean, I guess there's not much you can do in a level that's supposed to be fast-paced like that, but it happens to bigger degrees and smaller degrees in a lot of these games where... Well, in a lot of the Donkey Kong Returns levels in particular, where it's just like, okay, by the time you notice that there was a way to get the puzzle piece, sucks to be you. You've already missed it.
This
and
might
so
be.
you have to go back and do it again.
This might be
it just rubs me the
entirely
wrong
because I grew
way.
up on Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, but the reaction times for this stuff don't really seem all that taxing to me.
And Ted, it's not just a returns problem. That was a problem with the minecart levels in 2 and 3 as well. Because if you missed the bonus barrel, you had to do the whole level over again, or oops, kill yourself.
That second one's usually the one I do in any game that does that. If I have lives to spare, and I don't wanna, I'd rather just replay that single part instead of having to go through the whole thing all over again.
Yep.
When did you take damage?
I probably ran into something.
Okay, because I don't remember you taking damage, but whatever. Did that guy make his house out of cheese?
Yes.
Okay.
A gingerbread man makes a gingerbread house. Is he made of house or is house made of flesh? He screams because he does not know.
What?
You've never seen that comic?
That's dark.
I get you, Ryan. At least I get you.
Oops.
At least someone finally does.
You see, I think that him being made out of house is more existentially terrifying than his house being made out of flesh. Because at least that's a concept you can grasp, versus being made out of an inanimate, like, it's just like, then at that point you start to question whether or not you yourself are real. Which
Well, you know,
is...
you could say that, but then maybe the gingerbread man should have considered that he's made of gingerbread. You know.
Hey, he doesn't get to help what he's made out of, alright?
Well, yeah, but it's just as inanimate as the house, is what I was saying. Oh boy.
Did any of you guys play the 3D version of Donkey Kong not Tropical Freeze,
Donkey
Returns?
Kong.
Donkey Kong. The 3DS version?
Of Returns,
You
yeah.
mean the actual version of Returns you should play?
Okay, don't say Tonky again, because that just...
Wait, did I say Donkey Kong?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
I'm
you
pretty
said
sure
Donkey
I
Kong.
tried to say Donkey Kong.
Tonky...
You still said you said Donkey Kong.
Tonky
It's all
is
Conky
the name
Dong.
of the fucking elephant monster thing from fucking Sword Art Online. And I don't... You see, the thing is...
Someone make fan art of it now just to bother Lewis.
The thing is... No, the thing is, the Tonky episode from the light novel is like one of the only good stories in the early Sword Art Online novels. And for some reason, the anime skips over it and then assumes it happened when a later story arc brings it back. So they flash back to the episode they skipped. I don't understand what the writers of the anime were doing.
Did they know that he was coming back when they were making that episode?
I don't think so, but like they just sort of skate over the fact that they didn't have that episode happen.
Because it could have been a Harry Potter movie problem where, oh, he just has the mirror now, but they didn't explain what the mirror was in an earlier movie because they didn't know it was important. It's okay, we'll just have him have it. It's fine.
Yeah,
Oh.
but you know, they could have like done it.
I need the N.
that was so anticlimactic.
Life is meaningless without spelling.
It's just like, you know, they could have done an episode where the Tonky thing happened in a different context, but no. They just flash back to it happening and expect you to understand that it happened at some point. I don't get that anime studio at all.
Have they done anything else?
I mean, they always do other stuff.
Have they done anything else important?
Oh, you got lucky with that one, Ryan.
Shitboxes, son.
You know what the worst part? The worst part is the Tonky episode, which I consider like one of the only good story segments in the entire early series, happens smack in the middle of Fairy Dance, the worst part of the goddamn series.